Hi, I'm Diana Laverdure-Dunetz, and I want to welcome you to Plant Powered Dog. And I want to thank you for stopping by today, and for most of all, for being curious and interested in whether or not dogs can thrive on nutritionally sound plant-based diets. Um, in order to help to understand that, I thought that I would just give a little background about myself. I was not always a vegan canine nutritionist, which is what I am now. I have a Master of Animal Science degree, and I've been formulating fresh food diets for dogs all over the world for probably about a dozen years. And in 2009, I became a vegetarian. And throughout that entire time between 2009 and about 2017 to 18, I was still formulating meat-based diets for dogs. So why was that? Even though I was vegetarian, I still bought into the myths that dogs are wolves and they need meat to thrive and to be healthy. As a matter of fact, I felt so strongly about that when I became vegan in 2017 to 18, um, I was going to walk away from my canine nutrition business because I felt that there was now a discord between helping dogs and helping all animals. I felt that since I had bought into these myths that, if dogs need meat to thrive, and I will no longer harm any animal for any reason, including to feed dogs, then how can I still do this business? So my husband said something which seems, kind of obvious right now, but it wasn't at the time, which was, why don't you do your own research? Here you are, you went back to school, you got a master's degree, you love everything about what you do. You love helping dogs, you love nutrition. You just don't want to, participate any longer in harming any other animals. So I did. I started with a wonderful phone call with someone who, to this day, is a mentor of mine, Professor Andrew Knight, in the UK. I spoke to Dr. Richard Pitcairn and others, and I ended up sending videographers all over the world for a year, interviewing scientists and vegan veterinarians, and put together the Plant Powered Dog Food Summit. And that streamed, in about March of 2019. And what I learned during that time was just astounding to me. Dr. Pitcairn was the first one who introduced me to the concept of bioaccumulation of toxins, which are toxins that bioaccumulate up the food chain and, into food animals, that when you consume them, when a person or a dog consumes the food animal, you're consuming all of those toxins. And, 6 million new cases of canine cancer are diagnosed every year. Chronic illnesses in dogs are on the rise. So something isn't working. And what I realized was, well, perhaps what isn't working is that science is continuing to investigate and draw the causation relationship between animal ingredients of meat, poultry, dairy, and all kinds of disease, including cancer. And I started to think, well, gosh, I think I can have the best of both worlds. I think I can help all animals, and I can do it by turning my practice plant-based. So that's what I did in like 2018 to 2019. Basically, almost overnight, I turned my practice into only promoting and formulating plant-based diets for dogs. And I quite honestly thought, okay, no one's going to contact me, right? Who's going to contact a plant-based, vegan canine nutritionist? And I'm I'm really so gratified to say that I'm busier now than I ever was when I was doing meat-based diets, because people are understanding, first of all, that, we live in a world that has to change how we feed ourselves and how we feed our, you know, canine companions. It's just not sustainable. It's not sustainable from an environmental standpoint. And people are more aware through some of these wonderful documentaries that have come out about the horrors of what happens to these poor, you know, food animals, which there's enough out there, so I don't have to go into that. But people are more aware, and they're also more aware of the rise in chronic diseases in their canine companions. So just like they're looking for solutions for themselves, and we know how wonderful plant-based diets are, a lot of people are now looking for these similar solutions for their companion dogs. And you know what? Guess what? I started talking about this concept back in about 2015 with the book Canine Nutrigenomics, which wasn't plant-based because I didn't know then what I know now. So that's very simple. We all evolve. But what I did know and had learned already by that point is that, you know, of course, dogs have been hanging out with humans for tens of thousands of years, perhaps hundreds of thousands. And throughout that time, they have genomically evolved alongside of us. That's a scientific fact. We now know that their microbes, their bacteria in their guts have evolved alongside of us. So they are very similar to us on a very deep cellular level, which is why I'm not sure if you're aware that cancer in humans and dogs is so similar that they do comparative oncology. So meaning that they take studies and clinical trials from one species and use it to benefit the other, because they're so similar. So I started to realize that I can nutritionally affect and improve the health of companion dogs by helping them to eat nutritionally sound plant-based diets, eating low on the food chain, you know, not eating these bioaccumulated toxins that occur when you consume, you know, cows and pigs and animals on the top of the food chain, other than, you know, humans and dogs and those that are eating them. You know, so I realized I had the best of both worlds. So since about 2018, I have been only promoting and formulating plant-based diets for dogs. I've done diabetes diets, so many gastrointestinal diets, so many cancer-fighting diets, diets for chronic kidney disease. And I'm so pleased to say that over these many years, the dogs just do phenomenal on them. They love them, they thrive on them, and I'm blessed to have the best of both worlds. And that led me about 2.5 years ago, or 3 years ago now, and that'll, as this video gets older, that timeline will, you know, of course, change. But basically at the end of January of 2023, I'm very proud to have completed and have Dogwise Publishing publish my book, The Plant-Powered Dog. And it's Unleash the Healing Powers of a Whole Food Plant-Based Diet to help your canine companion enjoy a healthier, longer life. And I'm also so thrilled to say that Dr. Pitcairn wrote, I don't think you will find a better guide for feeding your dog, which, considering that he is a hero of mine, that just meant so much to me. So I'm glad you're here. And what I want you to know is that just like my practice and just like this book, you know, you can find citation after citation and reference after scientific reference. It's very important for me, for people who are interested in this, to know that this is not my opinion. There is so much science to back up, and it's continuing to emerge with the wonderful research, for example, from Professor Andrew Knight, to continue to back up that dogs are, first of all, they're nutritional omnivores. So I'm not going to even, get into that debate for people who still think they're carnivores, because they are scientifically nutritional omnivores. And you can click on some of the links on the site here where I talk about it. But, it's just, I want people to understand that the science is there. If they're concerned, please read this book. You will be able to get every reference yourself and read it. And again, more and more and more research is emerging that dogs who eat nutritionally sound, plant-based diets are just as healthy and even healthier than dogs that are consuming animal products. So what a win-win for everyone. There is absolutely no need for us to harm other animals and create suffering in the world to feed our canine companions. And you know what? Guess what? Not only that, but that might actually be the missing link for our canine companions to enjoy optimum health, to get rid of these toxic foods and instead replace them with foods that we know are the most cancer fighting, are full of phytochemicals and antioxidants and fiber that increase short chain fatty acids in the gut. These are all plant foods. So it's a total win-win. So again, I just really, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for stopping by, and please browse around and feel free to contact me. And I look forward to hopefully one day talking to you. So thank you very much. Thank you.